I'm Marna, and this is the Twin Flame Detox. And yes, you can see my little dog Tassie in the background. She likes to say hi. Oh, and there's my other dog Boober. So, what we're talking about today is the stories we tell. All of us live our lives as a series of stories. Stories that we tell ourselves, stories that we tell other people. If someone were to come up to me on the street and say, "Tell me about your twin flame," there are a number of ways that I could tell that story. I could tell the story of the most incredible love in my entire life and how fulfilled I was when we were together and how desolated I was when it went away. I could tell the story about the man who came into my life, completely love bombed me, and then left for someone younger with more money. I could tell the story of spending thousands of dollars to support a drug addiction that wasn't even my own. So, the way we tell our stories determines how we are perceived and how we perceive ourselves. What story are you telling yourself as you go through the twin flame journey? The story that I tell now is the story of a love that opened my eyes to the potential I had within me and how I have grown from that love being removed from my life to understand that I could apply it not only to myself, but to everyone around me. And how I have taken the pain of that love moving on to transform my life in ways that would not have been possible had we stayed together. And how I'm now using that love to help transform the lives of other people like you. As we go through life, we all collect our stories. The story you tell and the way you tell it determines what your life experiences bring out in you. So, if I were to tell the story of my childhood, I could tell the story of being raised in an emotionally abusive household. I could tell the story of being raised in an upper middle class Caucasian household in America. I could tell the story of being a military child and moving from base to base to base throughout my entire childhood. All of those stories would be true. All of those stories bring out different aspects of my personality. The story that I choose to tell is the story that determines what aspects of myself I am nurturing within myself at this point in time. So, the story that I choose to tell about my childhood is the story of learning to adapt, learning to get along with a wide variety of people from all different backgrounds, and the story of being able to see the privileges that have come in my life and hopefully at least attempt to turn those privileges in such a way that I can help those who do not have them. Again, the stories we tell determine who we are. So, look at your story. Look at what you've overcome. Be proud of yourself. I've overcome things that when people hear of those aspects of my story, they are astonished that I'm still here, much less that I'm reaching out and attempting to make the life better for other people. If I tell the story of being wheelchair bound, if I tell the story of being in a relationship with someone who was so abusive that he was actively trying to kill me, if I tell the story of being a single mother and struggling to support my children, those are all stories of hardship. I take those hardships and I tell the story of overcoming them. I tell the story of how incredibly my children have turned into adults that I am proud to know. I tell the story of standing up and walking after doctors told me it would never happen again. I tell the story of turning to the earth for the healing that modern medicine could not provide me. Those are the stories that I choose to enhance in my life? What story are you choosing? So the in-depth extended version of this video is going to go into exploring stories in depth. We are going to talk about how to become the protagonist of your own story instead of allowing yourself to be a supporting character in the story of someone else. We're going to talk about how to identify key points in your own story and magnify those key points to lead you on the path of where you choose to go, not where someone else has chosen for you. And we're going to talk about going within, finding your internal story that you tell yourself, and finding the storyline that empowers you instead of makes you feel trapped as you're on the twin flame journey. So, details for the extended will be available in the box below. I am also going to unfortunately have to start charging for the extendeds. So that information is going to be added on to all of the videos. Video extensions will be purchasable either individually or as a set. Just so you know, right now I have 4 different modules planned for Twin Flame Detox. Right now we're still in part 1. I have started filming for part 2. That is where we're getting into the nuts and bolts of this. So it's coming soon. Thank you for joining me on the Twin Flame Detox. I am so happy you're here.